If you've ever walked away from a conversation feeling confused, blamed, or like you're the problem, but can't quite explain why, this is for you. Emotional abuse isn't always loud. It doesn't always come with name calling or yelling. Sometimes it's subtle, a shift in tone, a backhanded compliment, a rewrite of reality that leaves you doubting yourself. Today, we're talking about 3 things that often show up together: emotional abuse, narcissistic behavior, and projection. What they are, how they operate, and most importantly, how to begin making sense of your experience. Hi, I'm Morgan Bougourd. I'm a therapist at the Center for Intimacy, Connection, and Change, CICC for short. At CICC, we help people heal from painful relationship patterns, including manipulation, emotional abuse, and trauma caused by chronic invalidation. Many people carry deep wounds from relationships that were confusing, draining, downright harmful, and they've been told it was their fault. Our work is about clarity, self-trust, and recovery. If you've ever questioned your reality, minimized your pain, or kept quiet to keep the peace, what we're talking about here might help things start to make sense. So, what is emotional abuse? Well, it's a pattern of behaviors meant to control, belittle, or undermine someone's sense of self. And it's not always obvious. It might show up as blaming you for things that aren't your fault, withholding affection or attention as punishment, using sarcasm or passive-aggressive comments to erode your confidence, turning your feelings into a joke, or a reason for conflict, making you feel guilty for having needs, boundaries, or even opinions. Over time, emotional abuse wears you down and wears down your ability to trust your instincts. You may start to question whether you're too sensitive or too much. And that confusion, that walking on eggshells feeling, that's the impact. Now, let's talk about narcissistic abuse. Because not everyone who behaves in manipulative ways is a narcissist. But when narcissistic traits are involved, like lack of empathy, need for control, and refusal to take responsibility, the effects could be especially damaging. Narcissistic abuse often includes love bombing, followed by withdrawal or punishment. It can include gaslighting, making you doubt your memory or perception, and there may be constant shifting of blame, a demand for admiration while offering little in return, devaluing you the moment you set a boundary. And it's a cycle: idealization, devaluation, discard. And when you're in it, it's hard to see clearly because every moment of connection is followed by confusion. So if you're stuck trying to earn someone's love or prove your worth while constantly feeling like it's never enough, that's not love, that's control. So let's take a moment to look at projection, because this happens when someone takes an uncomfortable feeling like insecurity, guilt, or fear and places it on you. They cheat, then accuse you of being untrustworthy. They're angry, but call you too emotional. They feel shame, but say you're the one with the problem. Projection is a form of psychological defense, and it allows someone to avoid looking inward by pushing their discomfort onto someone else. And the danger is that over time, you may start to believe the narrative. You might apologize for things that you didn't do, and you might shrink to avoid being misunderstood again. So, what are some of the key signs that you may be in an emotionally abusive dynamic? Well, one might be that you feel drained after interactions, even when nothing big happened. You might find yourself second-guessing your memory, your tone, your words, constantly. And you feel responsible for your partner's moods. You've lost touch with your own needs and boundaries, so you stay silent to avoid escalation. You feel isolated or like no one would believe you. And these aren't just red flags. They are signs that something needs to be addressed and that your well-being may be at risk. And if you recognize these patterns, you're not overreacting. You're waking up. Now, let's talk about healing. Healing is possible, but it requires honesty, safety, and support. You may need space to name what happened without being told that you are overthinking. You may need help rebuilding your sense of self-worth. You may need guidance in setting boundaries that once felt impossible. Healing doesn't mean forgetting what happened. It means remembering who you were before the gaslighting started and learning to trust yourself again. At CICC, we support survivors of emotional and narcissistic abuse with trauma-informed therapy, both online and in person throughout Maryland. And if any of this sounds familiar, please know this: you are not crazy, you are not too sensitive, and you are not the problem. You are reacting to something real, and you deserve support that helps you feel safe, clear, confident, and whole again. So if you're ready to begin untangling the confusion and finding yourself again, we're here. So please visit centericc.com to learn more or to schedule a free 15-minute consultation. You don't have to keep carrying this alone. Let's help you heal, and let us help you feel like you again.